Hey, Sonny here. This is another killer song by Jakey Lee when he did it with the band called Badlands. This is called Silver Horses from Voodoo Highway album. And the guitar is tuned to E flat, half step down from standard tuning. So here's the intro. So that's the first phrase. It's basically the E minor chord, and the song's mostly is in E minor. So the first thing we need to do is get the bend down on the second fret of the G string. I use my ring finger on the second fret of your G. It goes like this. It's like a half step up. So basically you go from second to third, you bend it, but you bend it back down, and then you pick open G and then open E string, and up, you pick it upward on the last two strings, B and E open. Oh, so you also got to do so it goes like this. You bend it up, down, open G, and then pick the second fret of your D, and you pick the open E string, and you pick up on the upstroke on the open E and B. So that's the first phrase, again, slowly. Okay, second phrase, he'll bend up half step, back down, and then full step. Okay, he only picks it once, so it goes like this. So we'll go. Basically, you go from second to third on a G, you bend it again, full step to fourth. So you gotta listen to that. Okay. So again, so the second phrase goes like this. It's almost like the first phrase. It's a little longer. So that's an E minor 7. So you play slowly. You hold it down on the full step. Basically, it's the B note, and then you pick the open G, and the second fret with D, open E, and pick up on the E string and B string open, and pick the second fret of your D. you use your pinky and play the 3rd fret of your B string. Slowly again. Again. So that's the 2nd phrase. The 3rd time, he pauses even longer. So he bends a whole half step, back down, bend a full step. It holds it longer. The best way to do it is grip with your hand, so give it more strength on your ring finger to bend it up. And then you pick open G again. This time, after you play that, you play the open A string and the 2nd fret of your D, 2nd fret of your B. So basically, it's an A7th chord. So again. And then you pick the bottom part of the C chord, open E, 1st fret your B, and open G. And then you play the 3rd and 2nd fret of your low E string. And then you play the E 9th chord. Basically, I put my index finger on the 2nd fret of your A, and my pinky on the 4th fret of your D string. And you basically play all the open string. And then you pick the 2nd fret on the E string with your index finger. You still got your pinky on the 4th fret on the D string. So basically you let all the strings ringing out. Okay, so that's the intro to song Badlands. Not Badlands, I'm sorry, to Silver Horses. Alright, so here's the verse to Silver Horses. Play slowly. So that's the verse. Break it down. The first part, again, still is in E minor. First part goes like this. So there's an E minor and then pinky on the 3rd fret of your B string. You start from the 2nd fret of your G. You bend it up, you bend it, and you release it down, and you pick the open G. You pick the 2nd fret of your D, open E string, low E, and then you pick the open high E. And you use your pinky, you play the 3rd fret of your B, open E again, high E, and open B string. Again. Next part, you open G, 2nd fret of your D, and open A. Alright, and then you play the A chord. It's the string one time, you play the G chord. When I play the G chord, I put my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, and kind of use my bottom of my flash of my finger, mute the A string, so you won't hear the A string at all. And you play open D, G, and B. So you hear the stizzle. Alright. Next part is the same thing in the beginning. And you pick the open G string, you pull off on the 4th fret real quick, and they play the 2nd fret of your D. Alright, and then you play the open D string, open D chord. You gotta mute it one time first and then play the D chord. And then you play the C power chord. So you gotta kind of mute D chord, mute C power chord. That's A3, D5, and G5. So far we have this. Again. And the 4th time is a little different right here. Alright, so that part right there. So after you play the instead of playing open low E, you play the 2nd fret of low E. And everything's open string. Open D, E, B, G, back to D, and play this 1st fret on the E string, and then open D again, open B, G, open D, and open A. Alright, so that last part goes like this. Oh, I'm sorry, let me do that again. Alright, just make sure when you pick the open D string and then you go to the high E, you go up. So down, up. Alright, so that's just they'll get us through the very first part of right before the singing starts. And once it starts, the singing starts, it goes like this. This is the actual verse part. Alright, so here's where the singing starts and here's what you play. Alright, so what we start is we'll start from 12th fret of your D and 12th fret of your G and B string. You're gonna play just a pickup on the neck pickup to get that. It's almost that Hendrix sound to it. It's a real muffled mid tone. So again, you play those 2 notes, 12th fret your G and B, and you hammer on while your index finger is covering those 2 notes. You hammer on to 14th fret with your ring finger. Alright, and then you bend it up 14th fret. From 14th to 16th fret you release, you bend it back up, and you pull off on the 12th fret, and you hammer on the 14th fret with your D string. And then you play the 14th fret together, the D and G string, and then you down up twice, down up once on the mute, and you play the 12th fret of your D and G. Again. And you do 8 times, muting, kind of like with your index finger barely rest on the 12th fret. Do that up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 8 times. Again. And then you start again. You play the 5th fret, I'm sorry, 7th fret of your D and G, and the 5th fret of your D and G. And you do it again 8 times, and you do it again. And you go back to that riff at the end of the intro riff. I'm sorry. Alright, so that's the verse. Let me do it again. So that's the verse, and then it goes back to playing the intro verse. Oh, and one time, let's cover the chorus now. Alright, so here's the chorus. I'm gonna play slowly. So basically, this is the last. This is at the very end of verse before it goes to chorus. Oh, switch to pickup again. So again. It goes the last part, the verse 1, and then you play the F power chord. Is your E1, A3, and D3. It's the E minor chord. You're holding on the 2nd fret of your A and D string with your index and middle finger, and you let it ring out. So again, so you pick the first part of E chord, you play the rest open. So go. And you play the D chord, D open chord. That's basically D open, G2, B3, and E2, and then you lift up your middle finger. You play the open E, 3rd fret of your B, and 2nd fret of your G, and open D. Okay, and then you play the A chord. Hammer on this 4th fret of your G. Slap the 6th fret of your G, and you play the 5th, and then you put your middle finger on the 5th fret of your B, and you play that, and then play the 6th fret of your G, and you play the 4th fret of your E, low E, 3rd fret of your E, and then you play the 4th fret of your G and 3rd fret of your B. So far we have this. And after you play that part, you hold it, and then you pick the 4th fret of your G string, and you pull off 2nd to open G. And you play the 2nd fret of your D. And it goes back to the chorus again. Alright, so far we have this. Same thing. This part is different. Alright, so after you slide the 6th fret, 5th fret of your B, 6th fret of your G, open A, and you play this C 9th chord, 3rd of your basically is A3, D2, G3, and B3. Okay. And then after you play this A2, G1, and then A2, D1, and G2. Use my pinky to play the 3rd fret of your E, and then back to alright, so the last part of the chord goes like this again. So that's pretty much the whole song except the solo, and there's a little change behind the solo. But that's the cool part. The chorus is really cool. Basically all the riffs in the song is really cool. So enjoy. I hope you enjoy watching this video and have fun rocking out. Thanks.